Imagine waking up on December 1st, opening your EBT app, and seeing a big fat zero where your food stamp balance used to be. That's the nightmare 22 million Americans in 23 states could face in just a few weeks from right now. And yes, I said 22 million, including 8 million seniors, 1.5 million veterans, and 16 million kids. So if that got your heart racing, smash the like button right now, drop your city and state in the comments so I know where you're watching from, and hit subscribe with the bell on because I'm about to break down exactly why this is happening, who's getting hit hardest, what the White House just threatened, and what's really coming next year, whether this December crisis gets fixed or not. Let's dive in. A few months ago, the USDA sent every single state a massive data request demanding extremely detailed personal information on every single person receiving SNAP benefits. Names, addresses, income sources, the works. And they claimed it was only to catch the tiny amount of fraud that actually exists because, believe it or not, government auditors from both parties have confirmed for 2 straight decades that SNAP fraud stays under 1%, one of the cleanest programs Washington runs. 27 states, almost all led by Democratic governors, looked at that request and said, hold on, this feels way bigger than fraud prevention, this looks like a fishing expedition, and they sued. Federal judges in multiple cases have already sided with the states and said the scope of the data grab appears to violate federal privacy laws, so the information sharing is currently blocked. That's when the Trump administration escalated hard. Instead of backing off or narrowing the request, the White House informed these 23 non-complying states that if they don't hand over the data immediately, the entire month's SNAP funding, $4.1 billion, will be frozen starting December 1st, meaning every single recipient in those states gets nothing on their card for the holidays.
We're talking the biggest blue states you'd expect: California, New York, Illinois, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Michigan, Washington, Oregon, Colorado, Connecticut, Maryland, North Carolina, Virginia, Minnesota, New Mexico, Hawaii, and several others. Basically anywhere with a Democratic governor who joined the lawsuit. The average benefit is about $188 per person per month. So multiply that by 22 million people, and you see why food banks are already sounding the alarm that they will be completely overwhelmed if this actually happens. And before anyone says just get a job, remember the majority of able-bodied adults on SNAP already work. They just don't earn enough to feed their families because wages haven't kept up with rent and groceries, and the rest are children, seniors, disabled, or veterans, groups that used to have common sense exemptions. Speaking of exemptions, even if this December standoff gets resolved at the last second, and we've seen this administration drag emergency food funds to the final possible day before, bigger, permanent cuts are already locked in and starting to roll out nationwide because of the major budget deal passed earlier this year. That bill paid for a lot of its priorities by taking the deepest bite out of SNAP and Medicaid in history. And the USDA is now implementing 4 brand new rules that wipe out protections millions relied on. First, the age cap for work requirements just jumped from 54 to 64, meaning millions of seniors on Social Security or disability who thought they were safely retired now have to prove they're working, volunteering, or in an approved training program at least 20 hours a week, or they lose benefits after 3 months in any 3-year period. Imagine telling a 62-year-old with arthritis or a bad hip they have to find 20 hours of approved activity or starve. Second, veterans just lost their automatic exemption. 1.5 million vets who served our country now face the same harsh work rules as everyone else. Third, homeless individuals are no longer exempt. So if you're sleeping in your car or a shelter, you still have to magically produce 20 hours of work or volunteer time before you're allowed to eat.
And fourth, parents with kids over age 14 are losing caregiver exemptions. So single moms and dads who are staying home with multiple children or teenagers with special needs are being told get a job or lose the grocery money. These changes are already in motion in most states regardless of the data fight, and the USDA projects millions will be kicked off over the next couple years. Food bank directors I've spoken to say they have never seen anything on this scale. They're begging churches, charities, and local governments to stockpile now because December and January could be catastrophic. So what can you do if you or someone you love is on SNAP in one of the affected states? First, load up your card and spend down to under $2,000 if you possibly can before the end of November, because any benefits already on the card are yours to keep even if new money stops coming. Second, contact your local food bank today and get on every waiting list for holiday assistance because demand is about to explode. Third, reach out to your governor's office and both senators and demand they settle this data dispute without holding food hostage. And fourth, start documenting everything because class action lawsuits are already being prepared if the administration follows through on the threat. On a separate but related note, a lot of you have been asking about the $2,000 stimulus checks the president keeps talking about for seniors and people on Social Security and SSDI. The timeline has quietly slipped again. It is no longer happening before the end of this year. The new target, floated by administration officials, is mid to late 2026 because they want to wait for a major Supreme Court decision on whether the tariff revenue they plan to use is even legal in the first place. Multiple cases, including one just filed by Costco demanding refunds of hundreds of millions in tariffs, argue the president overstepped his authority, and several justices sounded skeptical during oral arguments. If the court strikes the tariffs down, the money disappears, and so does the funding mechanism for those checks, which is why everything got pushed way out.
I'll keep you posted the second anything changes on that front. Quick reminder before I go. Medicare open enrollment ends in just days, and thousands of plans have raised premiums, increased out-of-pocket maximums, or dropped entire hospital networks this year. If you're on Medicare, do not auto-renew without a free second opinion. Call the experts at Chapter Medicare at the number I pinned in the comments and below. Tell them I sent you, and they'll review everything for free and let you know if you're still in the best plan or if you can save money and get better coverage before the deadline. Takes 10 minutes and could save you thousands next year. That's everything I have for this urgent update. If this helped you or someone you know, give this video a like so more people see it. Drop your state in the comments so we can watch which areas get hit hardest. Share this with every senior, veteran, and parent you know who might be affected. Turn on the bell so you're first to know the second December funding is either saved or cut. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there, stock the pantry while you can, and we'll get through this together.